Patti Bradshaw was my second wife. I was her third husband. We met about 5 years ago at a quiet little bistro in Kew Gardens known as Guido's Hideaway, where she waited tables, and I used to sing these postmodern atonal adaptations of old jazz tunes. For instance, here's one of them. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Stuff like that. Now, I was immediately attracted to Patti, but she wouldn't even give me the time of day. In fact, every night at about 10:30 between sets, I would ask Patti what time it was. And she always had an answer, but it was never 10:30. Like sometimes, I'd be standing right next to her, and she'd say, "Sorry, this isn't my table," and walk right away. Sometimes she'd tell me I should dial 976-1616. They'd give me the time. And if she was feeling particularly mean, she would just say, "Cool it, you cacophonous crooner." For some reason, all of this just made me want her more. My piano accompanist, an old-timer named Blind Pegleg Kandinsky, warned me that I was setting myself up for a broken heart, and if he knew Patti, for a broken jaw. But I persisted. And I finally got up the courage to pose the big question. So one night at 10:30, instead of asking her what time it was, I asked her if she'd marry me. And much to my surprise, she said yes. So we eloped that weekend, and we spent our honeymoon at a quickie motel across from Guido's called Fool's Paradise. The signs in front of Fool's Paradise had advertised X-rated video, and I was pretty excited by this. We're up in the room, and I'm fiddling around with the dials. But all I was able to get was this one low-budget medical documentary called Strep Throat. And it was rather heavy on the culture shots. Well, Patti and I figured we would shut off the TV and get around to the business of consummating our marriage, which we did. And I gotta say, it was pretty damn good. But afterwards, Patti did something that worried me. She opened her purse, she pulled out a pistol, and she shot me in the foot. Now, before I could ask her why she did it, she was out like a light. So I left the motel room, and I hailed a cab, and I went to the nearest emergency room, and I had the bullet removed. Turns out that Patti had this terrible violent streak that I had only caught glimpses of before we got married. I just didn't go with my best instincts, I guess, and it was just living hell with her. When she wasn't shooting me, she was making fun of my singing voice. After about a week, I decided I had enough. My legs were all shot up. They looked like Swiss cheese. I was afraid she'd kill me any minute, so I packed up my bags and I left her. And I quit the job at Guido's, because I didn't want to see her again. Now, I learned about a half a year later that Patti remarried, and she eventually murdered her fourth husband. But I don't have time tonight to tell you that story.